Father's Day time, which always embarrasses my kids when they're little when they did this one. But happy Father's Day. You guys got your dads. Say it.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
All right. Thanks for being with us this morning. Hey, with special session going already. 1 week into this, there's a disagreement.
Yeah, well, the disagreement is about special session, which most of you at home are probably wondering, what is the special session? Why are they still in? Don't we have elections here in a couple of weeks? And I think most people, that's probably where they're at right now. There's a lot that took place in this last week of disagreement at the Capitol, but they're not supposed to be at the Capitol right now. They're supposed to be out knocking doors, campaigning, talking to you about what they're going to do for you. The disagreement comes down to some stuff between the House and the Senate and a desk and something like that. I'm sure John can tell you more. A lot of the disagreement, too, has to do with taxes and were they going to cut taxes or not. But the fact of the matter is even if you cut taxes right now, it's not going to help with inflation until next year when you get your tax return. So I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, House and the governor sideways. This week, tons of stuff sent to the Senate now, the House sideways to the Senate. What's going on?
Yeah, well, let's break through all the noise. Here's what happened. Governor called a special session to get tax relief for citizens of the state of Oklahoma. Specifically, what he wants is for you to stop paying state grocery tax by July 1 of this year and to cut 0.25% of your income tax. The House answered the call for that special session and said, Governor, you're right. We passed numerous versions of those bills. When you drown out all the noise, the bottom line is we're all just still waiting for what the Senate is capable of doing. Eventually, they're going to find out what they can do. They've issued a study. I don't think you need a study during the special session. But right now, to really break down all the noise, Governor and the House want to cut the income tax and want to cut the sales tax on groceries, and we're still waiting for the Senate to tell us what they're willing or capable of doing.
Okay, you clear on that? As mud, right? We'll see what happens. Right. Hey, this is this time for you to start bringing out that coffee, hit that hit, because we're going to use the I word that Jon Echols talks about. Inflation, it's hitting Oklahoma. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was talking about inflation months before the mainstream media started talking about inflation. We were doing it right here on News 9 because I didn't need them to tell me it was 8.5%, which, by the way, I still don't think it is. I think we're in double digits because I just went to the grocery store and I saw how much more my family was paying. Inflation is crushing the state of Oklahoma. That's one of the major reasons where we have to get inflation relief now, this moment, to our citizens, have them stop paying the state portion of sales tax on groceries right now. Because of Biden's ridiculous economic policies, we have to do what we can to protect our citizens. We have to spur economic growth, and by putting more money of the citizens' money in their pockets, it's crushing Oklahoma families. We need to do something.
The president makes an appearance.
Yeah, there's definitely inflation. There's no doubt about it. So take another sip of your coffee. The question is, how can we do something here in Oklahoma for Oklahoma citizens? And the answer is gas and groceries. We could have done something to roll back the state's portion of tax on gas and the state's portion of tax on groceries. Those two things will actually make a difference. I don't know about this income tax stuff. That's not going to help you until next year when you file your taxes. But gas and groceries, everyone that fills their tank up, that used to be $45 and now it's $90. Everyone that used to fill your grocery cart up and it used to be $100 and now it's $250. Yeah, gas and groceries, those are the two places we could have helped with inflation.
Hey, Loft and Mike Jackson are back at it. We'll tell you who they've got their eye on when we come back. Welcome back. There's a big debate. Lots of debates, by the way, thanks to Non-Doc and News 9 for helping us get the information. But also, this United States Senate race that's heating up. Your thoughts about where we're headed just a little over a week now.
Well, as we've been saying on the show for a while, the polling shows this is a two-person race. This is Markwayne Mullin versus Speaker T.W. Shannon, former Speaker T.W. Shannon. We have some other serious candidates. Luke, Scott, they're doing a great job, but the reality is this is a two-person race. What we'll be watching for is whether or not Markwayne Mullin can get it without a runoff. I don't foresee that. I think we'll be going into a runoff one-on-one, and I think all bets are going to be off at that point. And the reality is the winner of this primary is going to win that Senate seat. Kendra Horn is a formidable opponent, but that's what's going to happen next election cycle. So this vote coming up, this is for your next U.S. Senator.
You agree?
Well, I think what my colleague wanted to say when he said there were some other great candidates in the race was, yeah, there is another great candidate, and it's Congresswoman Kendra Horn. She's doing a great job out on the campaign right now. She's talking to voters about things like inflation, about things like Washington, D.C. She's talking about how when she was there that she was able to build bridges across the aisle and work together in order to solve problems and not just talk about fighting people. I do agree with my colleague that it's a two-way race on the Republican side. I think it's down to Congressman Mullen and former Speaker Shannon. One of them debated on News 9 last week and did a really good job, and the other one was up in D.C. So.
Okay. By the way, it has been incredible to watch the News 9 non-doc debates. You get more information out of those. Salute to Storm and to Trace and all the people that are working on that one. Okay. You were in the legislature when Loft passed. It is something that I look forward to whenever they do these reports. This week, they're aiming at DOC. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it was a bombshell that came out this week on the report for DOC, but what I am going to tell you is you as the voters in 2016 voted on State Question 780 and 781. You approved both of those because you knew that we didn't have the worst people in the nation, and you thought people with low-level drug offenses shouldn't spend 20 years in prison for that because they were nonviolent. We passed that in 2016. 781 said we were going to fund the money that we saved from not incarcerating people. We were going to spend on things like mental health and substance abuse. We haven't spent any money on that yet. What this report showed is that the number of prisoners has gone down, but the amount of money we're spending in DOC has gone up while we're still not funding 781. I think the public wants to know where their money is.
Do you?
I do, and I actually agree with my colleague on this issue. LOFT, so those of you at home don't know what it is, the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency. It's probably one of the best things we've done since I've been in the legislature. It is, Director Mike Jackson does a great job there, former House Pro Tem, and it digs into how your taxpayer dollars are spent in the interim. What it showed is that we do have money within DOC to fund 781. I agree with that. That's something we should be doing, and I think we're going to be able to help DOC better use its technology to be able to take some of that money. But I also must say, DOC did a phenomenal job when they came in and talked. I still have complete faith in Director Crow. The team's doing a good job.
On behalf of all of us today, happy Father's Day. Chairman Mitchell wouldn't be here without you. See this again at news9.com/yourvotecounts and follow me on Twitter @MitchellTalks.